Today we're going to talk about the best dark matter farm in New World. I'm sure it's going to get nerfed soon, so everyone should really be taking advantage of this while you can. You'll want to open up your map and take a look at Northern Ebon Scale. You'll see it right about here. There's a Yeti who spawns in this cave about every 30 seconds. You'll use the way shrine that's right there and take that north. You'll have to go off the path a little bit, but you'll eventually get into the cave. This is something that you can definitely solo, but it is going to be better and easier with a group. There's about a 30-second spawn timer you'll see here. You know, with this many people, obviously, it takes nothing to take him out. In my opinion, it's pretty much the most consistent dark matter in the game. Obviously, you have your soul worm trial and the other trials that give you the weekly bonuses. Once you do that, once you do your elite chest runs, your world tour, whatever you call it, there's not really a whole lot of good sources of consistent dark matter. The only one close to this, I would say, is Siren's Brute. We'll take a look at that towards the end of the video. I mean, as you'll see here, sometimes he drops 2 legendaries. A couple times you'll see there's not a drop, but it more than makes up for it, like I said, with the very consistent double drops, and almost always there's at least a single legendary. It's also worth noting, if you're in a raid group, you can pretty much AFK this, especially if there's a lot of people like this where your individual contribution to the kill doesn't really matter that much unless you're trying to get mastery or something. You should probably be doing that somewhere else. I don't know the despawn mechanics as far as how long the loot stays on the ground, but I noticed that if I AFK for about 5 minutes, I'll come back and there's 4 or 5 bags on the ground, and that is pretty consistent. You'll want to check it pretty often, like I said, just in case they do despawn. You'll also get a lot of Traveler Stones, a lot of War Medals, there's quite a few. I think you get the Warrior's Medal as well. I don't think he drops any Glyph Stones, unfortunately, but just going through and salvaging all these legendaries, it's my estimation that you can get about 80 to 100 dark matter an hour. That's even more if you've got, you know, full luck. I think on the setup that I'm running right now, I only have like 4% luck or 3.4%. It's really not that much, but it does, you know, it gives you a little nudge in the drop table. The RNG in New World can definitely be pretty heavy hitting sometimes, and it kind of can feel like you're getting scammed out of whatever drop it is that you're chasing. With this, though, I mean, the drops are pretty varied. You're not going to find any 700s or anything that you can sell. But you're definitely going to be able to scrap these and get 1 or 2 dark matter a piece. I mean, just look at all those legendaries. That's probably from 30 minutes of doing this. Probably not even 30 minutes if I'm being honest. Here, let's take a look at my inventory. I'm just going to scrap all of this real quick, and you'll see, you know, how much dark matter I get. Most of these seem to yield 2. You get a little bit of coin, but that's really not as important. Like I said, these yield usually 2 dark matter. They'll give you at least 1. I don't know the chance of that. I know that it's not 100% that you get dark matter from salvaging a legendary. I'm almost certain that a named legendary, though, does guarantee at least 1 dark matter. A lot of these are giving 2, and I mean, this is only 20 minutes of farming. If you sat here for a few hours, you'd probably get enough to craft an entire set of gear, you know? It is something that I really think is going to be nerfed soon. I don't expect this to stay in the game for very long just because it's way too OP, honestly. This is something that is probably left over from the Winter Festival last year. There were a lot of bugs with that Yeti, and it seems like they just took that Yeti and copied and pasted it into this cave, and I think maybe his drop table might be a little fucked up. That's just my theory, though. I'm not really sure. You should definitely farm this while you have the chance. It's going to be the most consistent, highest yield source of dark matter, especially in the open world. Like I said earlier, if you've already done your ECRs, you've got your weekly bonus from all the soul trials, then this is going to be what you want to do. Since this is most definitely going to get nerfed. If you're seeing this and you try the Yeti and you don't have as good of a drop table, try this. You'll need to go to Reekwater, down in the southern part of Reekwater. You'll have to kind of make your way through all those paths down to there. come in at the settlement and just, make your way. There's going to be quite a few mobs in this area. You'll just kind of have to run by them. But once you get up there, it'll close you off when you start fighting Siren's Brute. You'll see that door close, and it's really just the Brute and a few other adds, but they're very, very minor, and they don't usually get aggroed when you're fighting him in this spot. A lot of times you can kind of pin him towards the door, keep him in that area. If he ever gets stuck beyond the door, you just want to back up. He'll charge in the other direction and come back towards you. He also has a good legendary drop. It's definitely just not as consistent as the Yeti drops. The good thing about this one is there you have a chance of getting the legendary horseshoe that decreases the cooldown of your dash rate on your horse. So that really can give you some good movement in the open world. Like I said, you'll see here that the drop rate definitely isn't as consistent. I estimate that doing this, you're gonna probably get about 30 dark matter per hour. And the other downside is a full raid group is usually good. I mean, here in this clip, I'm fighting with 6 other people, and it took us quite a while to bring him down. If you have a full raid group or even half a raid group, you can bring it down in 20 or 30 seconds. After about an hour, someone in my raid group got that legendary horseshoe drop. I don't have it yet. I'm definitely going to continue to farm it because I want it for my collection, and it'll give you a good advantage in the open world, as far as even in open world PvP, just having that rechargeable dash that recharges faster than a lot of other people's can be a huge advantage. Siren's Brute also has a spawn timer of about 30 seconds, very similar to the Yeti. You've obviously noticed it's not as consistent and it's not as good returns for your time, but I really think that the Yeti is going to get nerfed soon, so Siren's Brute, if you're watching this and the Yeti RNG is not good, then come over to Siren's Brute. You need a little bit more people, and it's a little bit harder to get up here. It'll definitely be worth your time. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe.